Well, welcome back to second half action here. It's Port Huron Northern against Port Huron High with our score just underway here in a minute in the third quarter. It's 36 for the visitors, Big Reds, 22 for the hometown Port Huron Northern Huskies. Setting the lineup for the third quarter for Northern: Hanton, Bloomquist, Jamison, Clark, and Nelson. For the Big Reds: Mullins, Michael Miller, Terry Miller, Jeff Zuloff, and Brian Coleman. Shot up, no good. Rebound to White, the Huskies. First chance we get, Larry, we'll recap the first half scoring. Good hustle underneath by Ryan Mullins. Ball remains to Northern.
We're still seeing that same tough defense that the Big Reds had on the first half. Coach Pelt's not changing a thing.
Bloomquist, too hard off the iron, rebound to Jeff Zuloff. Well, we're starting with basically the same starting lineup as we started the game with, but it's interesting to see that Andrew Diggins is not in the lineup due to the 3 first half fouls.
Well, and that's a good move on the part of Coach Peltz. Right now he doesn't need him, and so he's going to make sure that he's got him in case he does need him toward the end of the ball game.
Well, very good point, Larry. He really doesn't need him right now with a 14-point lead. See what the guys can do without him, and if they can maintain the lead. And again, in his place is Michael Miller, who didn't start the game, and Michael's a very explosive offensive player.
Well, the Big Reds right now can control a tempo. They don't have to be in a hurry to get a shot, so they can take their time to get a good shot.
Coleman against Bloomquist, no good. Rebound to Hanton. Nowhere to go, he pulls it up to Nelson. Nelson, spin move underneath, no good. Rebound to Coleman. Nice pass underneath by Mullins, rejected by Jamison. And we've got a jump ball. Nice pass and then a nice defensive play by Jamison.
No question, it was just a great play and a good heads-up play. It's like Coleman got a little bit upset, and Coach Peltz pulled him out. A good move.
Anthony Edwards checks in to the lineup. 6.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Our score remains 36-22 for the Big Reds.
Well, Huskies going after the ball a little more, Randy.
Referee Jim Gosser calls Brian Hanton on the travel violation. Turnover to the Big Reds. Northern in full court man-to-man pressure.
Well, the Huskies are going to have to put pressure on and control the tempo, and that has paid off in terms of the steal. Foul with Ryan Mullen that time, stopped at 2 points.
I believe there is such a thing as a good foul, and that was a good foul. Blake Nelson had the size advantage. He had an easy layup. Now they just get the ball underneath. But it's interesting to see Northern went with the half-court trap, and it made a turnover.
Tough pressure defense. Big Reds have really kept it on all ball game.
Give and go. Jamison to Bloomquist.
2 points, assist, money.
Michael Miller guarded closely by Blake Nelson.
Bloomquist is a strong player when he goes in the paint and really has a tough move and hard to defense again. He can do so much with the ball when he gets down there.
Jeff Zuloff hard off the iron. Hanton with the rebound.
It's like the momentum is turning just a little bit at this point, Randy.
And as you say that, Larry, looked like Andrew Diggins was going to check back in, but he just Coach Peltz grabbed him.
Number 22.
Well, it looks like Huskies are playing all-time basketball. Get to the wing and give and go, and so far it's worked, although they didn't get the ball in the bucket. He was fouled.
Well, you see, Brian wasn't too active offensively, even though he was defensively in the first half, has come to play here in the third quarter as Paul Downey checks in to the lineup for the Huskies.
Well, Jamison plays tough off the boards. He's just a smart basketball player. Does a good job, plays the whole ball game.
And number 44, Andrew Diggins, back in the lineup for 54, Anthony Edwards. Well, we'll write this down, Larry. There's 5:32 remaining in the third quarter. We'll see when Andrew picks up his fourth foul, if he does. That could be a key factor in tonight's game.
And not only that, the Big Reds haven't scored this quarter.
2.5 minutes. Port Huron High's gone without a point. Northern's cut the deficit to 10. Coast to coast, Michael Miller.
He's strong.
Miller, Big Red, 2 points.
Clark to Jamison. He passes up the 3, takes it underneath, and he's fouled by number 30, Terry Miller.
Well, what we've seen underneath, too, is we got Mullins on Bloomquist, and he's playing them tough, but I don't think Mullins can defend against him if they get the ball to him.
Jamison shooting up here.
He does. I don't think Mullins will be in the ball game very long.
Back into the Big Red line.
Coach Pellis must know something that we don't know, because he's given up about 4 to 5 inches in height. But I'll tell you, body-wise, they match up pretty well. They're both probably about a 44, 46 coat, I would imagine.
Well, not only that, they're going to play with the same tenacity, too, both those players. Both kids play tough.
Jamison, who's got his last 3 points on free throws, will shoot another. Oh, we've seen a 14-point lead quickly cut to 9, now to 8. Mullins underneath to Diggins.
Andrew Diggins, 2 points.
Andrew comes right back in and gets in the offense quickly.
Well, good defense down low on the part of Hanley. He didn't really take the fake and stayed still. It made him go over him.
Clark follows up his own miss. You don't see that too often. You're always taught to follow your shot, but it's easier said than done. There's a perfect example for
Now
everybody
they see
watching
when
out there.
see a guard come in and pick off the rebound. The smallest player on the court picked the rebound off for 2 points. Good hustle on the part of Clark.
Coleman against Bloomquist, shot up and good over Bloomquist.
They can't give him that shot from the free throw line. He's got a nice soft touch for a big man, as does Bloomquist. Bloomquist can do the same thing.
The Huskies keep going inside of Jameson. He picks up the foul on Michael Miller.
Well, it's that little pass to the wing and get the ball right back, and you got the lane generally, because what they've done is to pull a defense outside, which should leave the lane clear. So a nice give and go move.
Well, Brian Jameson's taken more shots in 4 minutes than he did in the first half, and I'm sure that was the plan at halftime. Jameson again for 2. Yes. Brian Jameson, who's taken over the third quarter for Northern, cuts the lead back to 10. Terry Miller ready to check in the lineup for the Big Reds during the next whistle. Coleman over Bloomquist again, short. Rebound to Bloomquist. Quickly up court to Downey. Paul Downey! Nice one-on-one move by Paul Downey against Michael Miller, who didn't want to draw a foul. And Coach Ed Peltz calls a timeout.
That was an NBA move there, Randy, going away from the basket, threw it up off the glass, and hit for 2.
Paul Downey, who comes off the bench for the Huskies, definitely an offensive threat at 6'3" junior. And your score with 3:25 remaining in the third quarter, the Big Reds 42, the Huskies 34. Larry, I guess it will give us a chance now to recap this overall scoring in the first half.
Well, in the first half, a good balance on the part of the Big Reds. We had Andrew Diggins with 8, and Edwards, who came off the bench, had 7, and Terry Miller had 6, as did Brian Coleman. And we saw Zuloff with 3 and Michael Miller with 4. And Ryan Mullins hit 2 free throws, although he played a real great defensive ball game. In the first half for the Huskies, we didn't have anybody with more than 4 points. We had Hand with 4, Bloomquist with 4, and Downey with 4 the first half. The other players had 2. So, we're seeing balanced scoring. Everybody's into the ball game. And as you look at the score right now, the second half, we're seeing Jamison pick up the tempo and picking up some of the load he didn't have in the first half.
Ryan Mullins to inbound to Andrew Diggins. Northern in full court man-to-man pressure as they fall back. Downey against Miller.
And again, they want to keep the pressure on the ball and make them work for the shot.
Anthony Edwards into Diggins, blocked away by Hanton. Ball remains to the Big Reds.
Now we're seeing the pressure on both ends pick up by both teams. Playing tough defense right now.
Edwards for two. Hard off the iron, rebound two.
Good block out by Hanton.
Han's got quite a few rebounds underneath tonight for a guard. He falls underneath and slips in.
He blocked out Diggins, and of course Diggins can't afford to give up another foul.
Turnaround jumper by Bloomquist. All air ball.
Well, that's tough defense that Edwards put on him, but Bloomquist can make that shot, as can Coleman. So if they can pull him out of that paint, give him that little jumper. That's good strategy on the part of Coach Hanton.
Number 30, Norm Cosgrove in the lineup for Paul Downey, who gave the Huskies a spark there offensively as he came in the third quarter. Michael Miller, too strong off the iron, rebound. Diggins, strong move underneath. Possible three-point play. He gets the basket, referee Joel Vania says. Big basket by the Big Reds, and he'll shoot the free throw.
Oh, he had Clark inside trying to get that rebound. Good strong move by Diggins. Powerful man down in the hole, and it's pretty hard to stop when he goes up with the ball.
52, Dan Larison, senior forward, checks in for the lineup for junior guard, number 44, Brian Hanton. .216 remaining in the third quarter. Your score 44-34. Make that 45-34. Andrew Diggins completes the three-point play. Port Huron High goes back to full court man-to-man pressure. Larison looks over the trap, finds Cosgrove underneath. Quick pass underneath to Clark. Three quick passes there. The ball never touched the floor. Credit the assist to Cosgrove, the basket to Greg Clark.
Just basic basketball, Randy. That's where you're going to beat that full court pressure. That ball didn't hit the floor.
Well, Larison's big enough to look over the zone. He found the open man. Ryan Mullins counters for the Big Reds. And the Big Reds are happy to trade baskets.
Yeah, right now, you got an 11-point lead. You may as well. Well, the Big Reds are sagging right now. They got some backup help to
Larison short, but he gets his own rebound.
He should be able to get something outside.
Jamison tried to force it in, tip to Larison. Tried to pass it underneath, and we've got a foul.
Yeah, Big Red's got that defense packed. They got some backside help for Diggins when he's on Bloomquist, and even got Miller back in the paint, so somebody's got to be outside free.
Well, good point. Port Huron Northern in previous games hasn't been afraid to shoot that three, and as Port Huron High packs it down low, you're going to see guys like Paul Downey and Jamison try to exploit that, which really they haven't attempted too many threes here tonight. Larison hits the first. He gets the second. 10-point difference, 1:17 remaining. This is Channel 6 CPHS.
Both teams pretty accurate tonight on the foul free throw line, Randy.
Larison all net again. Lead cut to single digits, down to 9. Edward looks inside, can't find anybody. Back out the top of the key to Ryan Mullins.
Double team.
He got tied up there by Brian Jamison. Referee Gosker calls a travel violation, turnover to the Huskies. Bloomquist comes out.
Knee might be bothering him a little bit, Randy. I noticed him.
And Blake Nelson comes in. Big possession here for Northern. Could possibly cut it to 5 with a three-point play. Clark short. Greg really didn't get off much of a jump shot there. Fell short, and the rebound to Ryan Mullins. Port Huron High sets up for the final shot, possibly of the half. Spin move by Terry Miller. 1-and-1 basketball. Terry Miller so quick. Money in the bank there.
Well, he is so quick, too, and he can move. That was Michael Miller, Randy.
We've got the Miller and Miller show.
Right.
Jamison for three. Yes. Just at the buzzer, Jamison hits three.
Well, that's the first three-pointer of the night, Randy.
Well, it couldn't have come at a more opportune time for Northern. Your score at the end of three, 49 for the Big Reds, 41 for the Huskies. So the Huskies have cut the deficit from 14 at the end of the half down to 8, and I don't think we've seen anything yet.
Oh, I think we've got a ball game here, really. And we're seeing the pressure on both teams pick up. I think the defense have intensified on the part of the Huskies, and they're not giving the Big Reds anything. I think the Big Reds really had an opportunity with that slowdown. They had the 14-point lead, sort of just slowed up their tempo a little bit and got them a little bit out of sync. So sometimes when you have that big lead, you tend to back off, and it just gets you out of the momentum of the ball game. We'll see a different fourth quarter.
Speaking of defense, Larry, a lot of credit on both sides of the team should go to for the Big Reds. I know varsity assistant coach Ron Cook has really helped sophomore Brian Coleman with his defensive play. And on the other end of the court, Coach Hayden has brought back a long time friend and assistant Jim Bates, who's helped on the footwork of some of the bigger men for the Northern, and both those gentlemen should be commended for the fine job that they've done this year.
Oh, there's no question about it. We've seen just a lot of good help on the part of our coaches, and we've seen the level of basketball pick up the last couple of years.
Larison over, no good, rebound to Hanton. Jamison against Miller. Nelson goes baseline, loses the ball to the Big Reds. A little indecision there on Blake. It looked like he was going to try to bank in and off the glass, and as he went up, he lost the handle.
Well, it looks to me what's happened is Hanson backing them out a little bit, like they want to go one-on-one with a couple of these players. Nelson's quick, can jump and go to the basket well.
Well, they've had Edwards open underneath there, and they can't get it to him. They finally do. He goes up, too strong, rebound to Hanton. Anthony Edwards was waiting for the ball there. They couldn't get it to him, then finally did. He threw up an air ball.
Hanton's played a good game off the boards. Played good defense and got some key rebounds.
Off the hands of Blake Nelson again. It's still by Edwards. But Edwards will be called on the travel violation. You're exactly right, Larry. Brian, who's only a 6 foot even junior guard, probably leads them tonight in definitely defensive rebounds.
Well, he's done a good job boxing out, and really and again, that's what's happened with these teams. They've been able to contribute, even though it's not in the scoring column. They've contributed either defensively or offensively off the boards, some key steals, and really that's what a team is all about.
Well, we played 1:05 here in the fourth quarter. No one has scored. The score remains 49-41 for the Big Reds. And definitely as the clock ticks down, the clock will become more of an important factor, especially for the Huskies as they trail. And again, we've harped on free throws. Both teams have done a nice job tonight hitting those, and I really think it'll come down to the line.
Oh, exactly right. And you're going to see, I think, that pressure that the Huskies have put on this last or the second half continue. They're not in foul trouble, and so Hanton can gamble a little bit and get some players in the ball game that can still play some tough defense. So we'll see what happens.
Setting the Husky lineup quickly: Nelson, Cosgrove, Larison, Jamison, and Hanton for the Big Reds. Miller, Diggins, Mullins, and Coleman. Spin move underneath. Will the basket count? I think it's before the shot. Number 2-2, Michael Miller called with the foul. Jamison will go to the line to shoot 2, I believe.
Money in the bonus for the Huskies. Money at the line.
Well, I think Brian's been perfect tonight from the line. Let's see if he can keep it up. We almost jinxed him, but we didn't.
That's his 5th free throw this half. In fact, he has 7 for the ball game right now. And 2 field goals and 1 3-pointer.
He's the guy you want to have at the line. He won a game for him earlier in the year by hitting 2 free throws with just a few seconds on the clock. And again, we might have jinxed him there as he misses his first free throw of the night. Cuts the lead to 7, the closest the Huskies have been all game. Good touch pass by Miller. Jam time! Nice touch pass. Credit the pass to Terry Miller. The jam to Andrew Diggins.
That always gets the crowd into the ball game, and something the home team doesn't want to happen. But
rebound Mullins off the miss by Larison. Quickly up court. A good hustle and a steal by Hand.
Huskies got to slow it down and just get their shot.
Hatton goes baseline around Coleman. Well, he went in there straight up against Diggins, didn't want to pick up his 4th foul, so he let him come in and he banked it in.
Well, again, they challenged him, and
off the hands of Coleman to Jamison. Well, the crowd's definitely got into the game after that jam. Blake Nelson, who's had a tough time holding on to the ball a little bit tonight, goes off his hands. Coach Ed Peltz takes a timeout as the lead is cut to 7.
Well, it's a good timeout for Peltz. The momentum was changing. The team got just a little bit rattled there for a minute with a couple of turnovers. He really wanted to settle them down. And they still have the 7-point lead, and they got 5 minutes to go. So Ed Peltz, well, he's still a young team. They haven't been in this situation where they close ball game. So they really wants to make sure that they do what they've done best, and that's maintain their composure.
Well, Port High, I think might have a little bit more advantage right now for the simple fact that they've been in a lot of tight ball games. They've lost a few, they've won a few, so they felt the pressure before. Where Port Northern has almost blown away every opponent, and this is going to be a good test for them to see how they can handle the pressure here late in the 4th quarter.
Well, you know, the other thing, watching these kids come through the program, Huskies got a team on the floor that these kids have played together, since they've been in intermediate school, and they know what each other can do, and it'll be interesting how they maintain their composure. They're not going to give up, I'll tell you that, Randy.
5:39 left in the ball game. We're at Port Huron Northern Gymnasium. It's 51-44 Northern. Port Huron High. Rebound to Mullins off the miss. 51-44 Port Huron High. 3-on-1 break to Coleman. He tries to jam it. He banks it in, however. Credit the assist to Andrew Diggins. Larison shot up and good. During that timeout, Gray Clark checked in for Norm Cosgrove. 2-on-1 break. Andrew Diggins pulls it up for the Big Reds.
Well, that's what the Big Reds really want to do, I'm sure, is to make sure they're going to get a good shot. And they're going to put a little pressure in the middle, and had the shot, missed the easy jumper.
Gray Clark all alone. Rebound Mullins. Mullins took it away from Larison. 3-on-2 break.
Good defense on part of James.
Nice.
I'm not sure that Coach Hanton really wanted Clark to take that last one in, Randy. Didn't have anybody to help him, so sometimes you got to bring the ball back out, get some help.
Paul Downey and Todd Bloomquist ready to check back in the lineup for Northern. Clark too strong. Tip in, no good. Foul. Michael Miller on the foul. Well, Bloomquist is coming back in to give them offensive threat inside, and I think Paul Downey will give them that offensive threat they need outside. I know that's what Coach Hand's hoping for.
Well, you know, and again, you know, good substitution because Bloomquist has been out of the ball game for about 5 minutes, so he should be rested. And we'll see if we notice a limp on the part, but I'm sure we won't see it if the way Todd Bloomquist is. He loves to play the game.
Foul on number 32, I believe, Brian Jamison over the back. Again, Downey and Bloomquist back in the lineup for Larison. Bad pass by Diggins. Bloomquist dish underneath to Clark. Ray Clark cuts it to 5 with 4:07 remaining in the game. Near steal by Hinton. Look out for the jam. Yes! Well, Northern's got a gamble. It's worked out. Sometimes it doesn't, but they're behind. They got to give it a try. Downey on the baseline move. Strong in and out. It won't go. Rebound Coleman. And he's fouled on the arm by Bloomquist. Coleman upset that he got fouled there. Anthony Edwards checking back in the lineup for Port Huron High.
Now, good move on the part of Peltz. So Coleman got a little bit upset. Get him out. He's just a sophomore. Get him out and talk to him. This is an emotional game for both teams, and we're seeing really just a hard-fought game and really a very clean game, Randy.
Well, the referees have done a fine job keeping the pace of this game under control. Port Huron High spreads the ball out with 3:25 remaining, 55-48, the Big Red. And as time ticks off the clock, number 44, Brian Hinton, picks up his third foul. As number 52, Dan Larison, checks back in for number 22, Paul Downey. I think Coach Peltz has coached it well. Both coaches have coached a good game tonight, but I think, the Big Reds are up. Peltz wants them to hold the ball for that high percentage shot.
They really have to do that this point. Kill some clock. You know, with no shot clock in high school sports, they can do that. The thing that they have to be careful of is that they don't get called for the 5-second defensive play. They do have to keep the ball moving.
Yeah, bad pass there by the Big Reds. Turnover, and on each turnover, Port Huron Northern's got to make the most of their offensive opportunity. Exactly 3 minutes remaining here in the ball game. 55-48, the Big Reds. The Big Reds, who have never trailed in this ball game.
Well, they're keeping pressure on the ball again, and that's what they've done all game, and really have done a good job with that.
Jamison's threes in and out, fight for the rebound. Bloomquist shot up and good. Nice back behind the back thing by Michael Miller to get out of traffic. It's a 5-point lead, 2:27 remaining in the ball game. Port Huron High spreads it out, and a foul on number 20, Gray Clark.
My fingers are correct. That should be Clark's second foul, so they can afford to put a little pressure on the ball. Problem is, they do that right now. They're in the 1-on-1 situation. So they really can't afford to give them.
I think this last 2:23 is going to probably take like 12 minutes and 23 seconds, because I think you're going to see a lot of fouls on Northern's part to see if High can hit the free throws to seal the win.
Although they've been successful with their free throws, I'm not sure you want to put them on the line. However, when you get this close to the end of a ball game, that sometimes they don't drop for you.
And I'll tell you what, pressure on the 6'2" sophomore Terry Miller as he hits that. He's ice cold there.
Well, he's played tough defense this whole second half. That's his first point, but he's been in the ball game, been a really just an outstanding defensive game.
The fine sophomore hits 1 out of 2. He's also got the tough task of guarding the leading scorer, Jamison. So I'll tell you what, just a fine sophomore prospect. Blake Nelson, turnaround jumper. Cuts it to 4. High breaks the trap. 2 men against Michael Miller. We've got a whistle and a foul, I believe, on. Could be Todd Bloomquist, and that could be his 5th foul.
I think Todd has only a couple fouls plus a technical was fouled, if I'm not mistaken. Should be his 3rd foul.
Terry Miller, who has ice in his veins, goes the line again, and I'll tell you, the sophomore's risen to the occasion almost every game for the Poyer High this year, and he hits another one, and every time Poyer Northern cuts it to 4, he brings it back up to 5. This time he hits them both. Terry, who's got 3 out of 3 points here quickly late in the game for Poyer High. Jamison's pass blocked. Oh, that's too bad there. Diggins and Mullins, they're on the same team. They didn't know who had the ball, and they got caught with a travel.
And that's a violation. It is a travel, and that's what happens in the heat of the game. But opportunity for the Huskies to get back in this ball game.
Number 44, Hondo Hatton, back in the lineup.
Hatton checks back in for Larison, I think, to give maybe a little bit more offensive punch inside.
Referees making sure that each player has their spot on the floor, so
Jamison in the corner. Back spin move, shots up, and good. Ryan Jamison. 1:25 to go. Full court man-to-man pressure, and Ryan Mullins, smart play, couldn't get it in, called a timeout.
well, you know, it's a 4-point ball game, and we're seeing the pressure of that defense that Northern's put on have some effect on the Big Reds. So a good time on the part of Coach Peltz.
I think another key so far is that we had down Andrew Diggins. He got back into the game with 5:32 remaining in the 3rd quarter with 3 fouls. He still only has 3 fouls, so he's been able to play under control. And now he's got a couple fouls to give in case he's got to foul somebody late in the game.
That's a good point, Randy, and I'm sure that we're going to see that player in the paint for the rebounds get a little bit tougher. Coleman also, has got a couple fouls to give too. So, I think that point that you just made is one that Coach Peltz wants to make sure. But they can't give anything away because both teams are in the bonus. And if you can score while the clock is stopped, gives you that advantage. So, it's a strategy move. I'm sure that he wants to play tough defense and not give the silly foul.
Quickly, Larry, what happened in the 2 earlier games tonight here at Northern?
Well, we saw a split. We saw the 9th grade Huskies successful over the Big Reds, and then the JV from the Big Reds beat the Huskies. So this could be the deciding match for the 3 ball games tonight.
Nice play by Terry Miller to bring it back out to work the clock. And we've got a referee timeout as Terry Miller's limping along the Husky bench there. Looks like he might have got stepped on and possibly sprained an ankle.
Just this comment, Randy. That really, the high school officials really are concerned about the welfare of the players, and just an outstanding call on the part of Joe Avina, because you really don't want a player to get hurt, and it was just an excellent call.
Anthony Edwards checks in for Terry Miller. Hopefully he'll be okay. One minute to go. 58-54, Poyer High. Terry Miller through the lane, draws the foul, I believe, on 32. Brian Jamison.
There's a point that you made. Bloomquist, had to commit the foul, otherwise it was a free throw, and now he puts him at the line for 2. So he could either be save 1 point or even perhaps 2 points.
And Dan Larison has to check in for Todd Bloomquist, who I believe is fouled out of the ball game.
Well, unofficially, I have him for 4, but the official score table, I'm sure, is right.
Well, Terry Miller can make them, and so can Michael Miller. It leads to 5 with 56 seconds remaining here at the Northern Gymnasium. This is Channel 6 CPHS. Second shot, no good. Rebound, Jamison quickly up court to Hanton. Hanton pulls up for the shot, short, rebound, fought for Ryan Mullins. Huskies have to foul here quickly.
Had an over and back call. A lot of hustle on the part of Hanton. That just a great hustle job.
Well, that's one thing you don't want to do against the trap is dribble the ball. You want to look up court and pass it. The guys have to come to the ball. 39 seconds remaining. The Big Reds by 5. They've never trailed in the ball game. Jamison for 3. Too hard. Fought for the rebound. Clark, no good. Over the back is Jamison. And Brian Jamison, who tried the 3, couldn't get it. Clark on the rebound, couldn't get it to go, and Jamison over the back, and the Big Reds will go to the line. Nice hustle there by Brian Jamison.
Jamison's 5th foul.
Number 22.
Bloomquist back in.
Into the Husky lineup. Number 54, Bloomquist.
Well, you were right, Larry. That was only Bloomquist's 4th foul. He checks back in, but Brian Jamison has fouled out tonight as Paul Downey and Blake Nelson check back into the lineup for the Huskies.
Miller hit his last free throw.
He uses all of it. He gets it. The lead to 6. 26 seconds left. The Huskies are going to get a couple more possessions. I think they're going to have to try to hit the 3-point shot. Nothing on that shot, however. The lead remains at 6 with 26 seconds remaining. Clark for 3, no good. Fought for the rebound. To Diggins, will go coast to coast if he can. Referee Gosker said they got all ball, and Diggins is called on a travel violation. You can't believe it. Neither can the Big Red fans. And Ed Peltz called a timeout with 13 seconds remaining. Quite a call there. The right call, but quite a call late in the game.
Well, you know, the official was right there. It was a matter of fact that, you know, he didn't call the ball from behind. So, official was right on the play.
Well, this will give us a chance with 13 seconds left to thank our camera people tonight. Matt Daly, Renata O'Leary, Kelly Guernsey, Jennifer Adams, Carl Schroeder, and Kevin Hudson. Our director tonight is Mary Dowd, and our producer, Paul Bonner. Thank you all. Quite a job, you all. 13 seconds remaining, 60-54, Fort Erin High. Fort Erin High, the 10th rated team in the Blue Water area, trying to unseat the #1 team, Fort Erin Northern. And again, it's not over till it's over, but they're going to have to quickly move the ball up court and try to hit those 3-point plays.
Well, 13 seconds, pretty hard to get 6 points, but it's never over until it's over, Randy.
Well, both teams have fought hard, and again, the winner of this game gets bragging rights, but only for about 2 or 3 more weeks, and they do it all over again at the Big Red Gymnasium.
Well, it's just the kids are
Nelson
really
for
playing
3,
well.
too strong, fought for the rebound. To Diggins, that should seal it. Diggins Mans is fouled by Hanton. The buzzer goes, the referees walk off. Your final score in the upset, the Big Reds 60, the Northern Huskies 54. Larry, your final comments on tonight's game?
Just really an outstanding ball game on the part of both teams. Big Reds kept the pressure on all night. It was a tough defensive game that they played. And played a good offensive board. They kept Bloomquist off the board. They shut Hanton down the first half, and I think that was part of the ball game. And you know, what can you say when you see the emotion in both these teams? I think both teams should be congratulated, and I'm sure we're going to see the same kind of a ball game at the next outing, which is just within a couple of weeks.
Well, it's got to be definitely a disheartening loss for the #1 rated team in the area, the Port Huron Northern Huskies, but you've got to give all the credit to the world to the Big Reds and coaches Ed Peltz and Ron Cook to pull off the upset tonight. For Larry Mans, this is Randy Fernandez, your final score. Port Huron High 60, Port Huron Northern 54. Have a pleasant good evening.